Call the August 4th Plan Commission meeting to order. Ms. X, please call the roll.
Mayor Olson?
Here.
Commissioner Hogan?
Here.
Commissioner Burkhart?
Here.
Commissioner Haley?
Here.
City Engineer Morrow?
Here.
Alderwoman Henneman?
Here.
Commissioner Leon?
Here.
We have a quorum. Please rise and join the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Nice crowd tonight. This will take about 16 hours, so.
Could I be excused, please?
First item on the agenda is approval of the regular meeting minutes of July 7th. Any additions or corrections?
Move approval. Second.
Haley and Burkhart. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item C1 is a public hearing on a special use amendment for Gazebo Park Apartment Complex Accessory Building Expansion. Ms. X.
The City of Franklin will hold a public hearing on Thursday, August 4th, 2022 at 7 p.m. in the Common Council Chambers at Franklin City Hall, 9229 West Loomis Road, Franklin, Wisconsin, 53132 to take public comments regarding an application by G Park LLC for an amendment to a special use permit for multiple family housing to expand 2 detached garages within the Gazebo Park apartment complex, the 4-car garage to be expanded by 400 square feet to a 6-car garage, and another 4-car garage by 600 feet to a 7-car garage, overall parking within this complex increasing from 48 to 50 parking spaces. This proposal is for property located at approximately 6300 to 6346 South 35th Street, zoned R8 Multifamily Residence District. This public hearing is being held pursuant to the requirements of 15-30701 general standards for special uses, 15-30702 detailed standards for special uses in residential districts, and 15-90103 applications for special use permit of the City of Franklin Unified Development Ordinance, a map showing the property affected, full legal description and application, and all supporting materials are available for review and may be obtained from the City Council by way of request to the Department of City Development at Franklin City Hall, 9229 West Loomis Road, Franklin, during normal business hours. A copy of the proposed special use amendment resolution in draft form is available and open for public inspection at the office of the city clerk at Franklin City Hall, same address, during normal business hours. The public is invited to attend the public hearing and to provide input.
Appears we have a properly noticed public hearing. The plain language on what's going on, Mr. Martinez.
Good evening. This is a special use amendment application to expand 2 garages. So this type of application has to go before the Plan Commission because this property received a special use for apartments back in the 80s. So I hope with the new UDO, this type of application can be approved administratively. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, is the applicant here? Okay,
The applicant is out of a state. So.
Okay, we normally give the opportunity for the applicant to give us their own statement since they're not here. With that, I will open public hearing on this matter. Is there anyone wishing to speak on this matter? Anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no one rise, I will close the public hearing on this matter. Questions from the commission? Regular, do you have the motions?
Indeed.
Marion, could you read the proposed motion, please?
A motion to recommend approval of resolution to amend resolution numbers 79-1562, 83-2091, 85-2581, 2009-6579, 2012-6812, 2014-7007, and 2017-7280, imposing conditions and restrictions for the approval of a special use for the Gazebo Park apartment complex property located at approximately 6300 to 6346 South 35th Street to allow for expansion of 2 detached garages within the apartment complex.
Is there such a motion? Leon and Hogan. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item C2 is a recommendation to the Board of Zoning and Building Appeals on an area exception for Rajiv Nagabandi and Kartayani Rava. How'd I do? Thank you. Ms. X, are you doing this?
Yep.
Ms. X,
The City of Franklin Plan Commission will hold a public hearing on Thursday, August 4th, 2022 at 7 p.m. in the Common Council Chambers at Franklin City Hall, 9229 West Loomis Road, Franklin, Wisconsin, 53132, to take public comments regarding application of Rajiv Nagabandi and Kardayani Rava to request approval of application for an area exception from Table 15-30203 of the Unified Development Ordinance to allow for installation of a deck onto an existing single-family residence, 15.94% lot coverage, or 2,224 square feet, exceeding the 15%, 2,092 square feet maximum lot coverage standard in the R3 Suburban Estate Single Family Residence District by approximately 0.94% on a parcel located at 8774 South Buckhorn Grove Way, property zoned R3 Suburban Estate Single Family Residence District. This public hearing is being held pursuant to the requirements of the standards of 15-10-0209 of the Franklin Unified Development Ordinance. A map showing the property affected, a full legal description and application, and all supporting materials are available for review and may be obtained from the City Council by a request to the Department of City Development at Franklin City Hall, 9229 West Loomis Road, Franklin, Wisconsin, 53132 during normal business hours. The public is invited to attend the public hearing and provide input.
Mr. Martinez.
Yes, this is an area exception application requesting an increase of the lot coverage. The lot coverage is the maximum area of the lot that can be covered by buildings. For example, this is an existing patio on the rear yard, so patio do not count towards the lot coverage. Now that the applicant is proposing to install a deck, the deck will count, and that's why it's exceeding the maximum lot coverage of 15% for this zoning district. This is located in the Aspen Woods subdivision. This is a meeting for recommendation to the BCBA. This will be presented before the BCBA on August 17th.
Is the applicant here? Yeah. Would you come forward? I just got, it's going to seem like a wise guy question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. You couldn't take 1% off of the deck?
So the only thing is,
First,
we
I'm
thought
sorry.
about it.
First, give us your name and address for the record.
Oh, hi everyone. This is Rajiv Nagbandi. As it was mentioned, I lived at 8774 South Buckhorn Grove Way. So the reason why I wanted to keep the size of the deck is we always think like our house is pretty small, and we wanted to spend like good amount of time in the backyard, having some family get-togethers. We thought like 160 square feet, which can fit it in exactly, but with the patio furniture and everything, it can become very small. We have a son who can play, have enough area for him, put an inflatable pool or something like that. It could be easily accessible for us.
Thank you. Okay, with that, I'm going to open a public hearing on this matter. Anyone wishing to speak on this matter? Anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no one rise, I'll close the public hearing. Questions from the commission? Mr. City Engineer.
So just, I would like to point out to the commissioners that we are discussing something that's different than what will be in the next one. So the next one's the maximum impervious area, and this one's the maximum, I think we call it lot area, lot coverage. So those are different. So in the next discussion, know that they are different, because and I'll explain later, but this one's good.
Yep, thank you.
Anyone else? Ms. X, do you have a proposed motion? Please.
I'm good.
A motion to recommend approval of an application for an area exception to allow for a maximum lot coverage of 15.94% or 2,224 square feet. Application requests an area exception from Table 15-0203 of the Unified Development Ordinance to exceed the R3 Suburban Estate Single Family Residence District maximum lot coverage standard of 15%, which would be 2,092 square feet by approximately 0.94%, to allow for the installation of a deck onto an existing single-family residence property located at 8774 South Buckhorn Grove Way.
Is there a second? Hanneman and Haley, we're doing the H's today. On the motion, all those in favor to recommend signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. That goes to the Board of Zoning and Building Appeals next. So thank you very much. Item C3 is another application for an area exception, this one for the impervious coverage. It's a recommendation to the Board of Zoning and Building Appeals, Sanjay Patel, single-family residence construction. Ms. X.
The City of Franklin Plan Commission will hold a public hearing on Thursday, August 4th, 2022 at 7 p.m. in the Common Council chambers of the Franklin City Hall, 9229 West Loomis Road, Franklin, Wisconsin, 53132, to take public comment regarding an application by Sanjay Patel to request approval of an application for an area exception from Table 15-30204 of the Unified Development Ordinance to allow for construction of a new single-family home in Oaks Estates subdivision with a maximum lot coverage of 16.84%, or 7,070 square feet, exceeding the R3E Suburban Estate Single Family Residence District maximum lot coverage standard of 15%, 6,297 square feet by approximately 1.84%. Residence structure will have a footprint of 4,543 square feet plus an attached garage, 1,118 square feet, a courtyard, 569 square feet, and a deck with stairs, 840 square feet, on a parcel located at 7406 South Cambridge Drive, property zoned R3E Suburban Estate Single Family Residence District. This public hearing is being held pursuant to the requirements of standards of 15-10-0209 of the City of Franklin Unified Development Ordinance, a map showing the property affected, a full legal description, and the application and all supporting materials are available for review and may be obtained from the City Council by way of request to the Department of City Development at Franklin City Hall, 9229 West Loomis Road, Franklin, Wisconsin, 53132. The public is invited to attend the public hearing and provide input.
Appears we have a properly noticed public hearing. Mr.
Yes.
Martinez, please.
Yeah, this is an area exception application requesting an increase to the lot coverage. So this is the main residence. This is the attached garage in the rear yard. And this is a proposed courtyard and a deck and patio in the back. So the house itself meet the maximum lot coverage, but with the addition of the courtyard and the deck, they will be exceeding the maximum lot coverage of the 15%. That's why they are requesting the area exception. I would like to mention with regards to the impervious surface that in previous design, it was exceeding the maximum impervious surface, but they made the revisions and now it's 29.6.
I thought it's
Here.
169.
Yeah, 29.6, and it's under the maximum impervious surface that is 30% for this subdivision.
So, and just to restate that, they're 169 feet after these improvements below the threshold. So anything above that threshold, it's a calculation we have to do for impervious areas. So it's no longer really our choice. It's more of a DNR and other involves other entities to make that decision. So you're good on this one, but if you add almost anything else, you really can't. So,
Correct, right, yeah.
all right, I just
If
want
they
to
want-
make that clear, so I'd make that sure that's in the record. Thank you.
Applicant wish to add anything? It's supposed to be a no, but okay.
Oh, I thought you wanted.
If you like.
I'm Steve Wamser, the home builder. A couple of the other houses in the neighborhood also got approved at previous meeting minutes for this same type of thing. So thank you.
Which raises
Yeah.
a whole different question, but
Yeah.
I got several different questions about that, but Mr. Martinez.
No, I would like to mention that this is the third area exception for this subdivision this year.
Okay. With that, I'll open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on this matter? Please rise, come forward, give us your name and address.
Hello, my name's Tom Wamser, and I'm here for my wife and I. We own lot number 12, which is just adjacent to it. And we don't have any problems with this. We think this house is going to be an asset to the community in Franklin, and we wish you to approve it.
Thank you. We're going to recommend, but it's close enough. Anyone else wishing to speak on this matter? Seeing no one else rise, I will close the public hearing. Questions from the commission? Commissioner Haley.
Not so much a question, I understand what's going on here. I would like to make a comment, though, that we're getting into a lot of this. You've heard me go on and on with other developments about small size lots and the desire of people to build large. And this is almost a full acre lot, and they still can't get what they want on it. And we're out there approving lots that are less than a quarter of an acre in many cases. We need to think about that, the future. It's easy to build once on it, but to get what you really want out of it, maybe we ought to be looking at larger lots. Thank you.
Any other commissioner? Ms. X, do you have a proposed motion?
A motion to recommend approval of an application for an area exception to allow for a maximum lot coverage of 16.84%, 7,070 square feet. Application requests an area exception from Table 15-30204 of the Unified Development Ordinance to exceed the R3E Suburban Estate Single Family Residence District maximum lot coverage standard of 15%, or 6,297 square feet, by approximately 1.84%, to allow for construction of a new single-family home in Oaks Estate subdivision, a property located at 7406 South Cambridge Drive.
Is there such a motion? Hogan and Leon. Mr. Wamser, please note that there are some comments tonight, so it would be good not to see a continuing stream of these. Just saying, questions will be asked in the future. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We move on to business items. Clint, would you mind if we took the Sandovals first? I'm going to jump the agenda to D2, Jose Sandoval land combination. Item D2, Ms. X.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a request to combine a lot located at 8857 West St. Martin's Road. There are two parcels at this address. One is an outlot, as you can see depicted in the graphic above, and they share a tax key number. They were previously divided by a CSM a number of years ago because there was a thought that that lot might develop if a future road was put in, but that not having occurred, the current owner would like to recombine the lots. It meets the requirements of the UDO in all respects, so staff is recommending approval.
Looking at the plats, and it was unclear to me what the lot was, and the rest of the lot was labeled outlot. Now, maybe I don't know what I'm looking at, but it's it was.
The red line is the division between the outlot and lot 1. So they're two separate lots.
Good Lord.
Yep, so the CSM is showing, originally the applicant was going to request a CSM to recombine these two lots, but the land combination is much simpler, so.
Wow, okay. This is not a public hearing. Questions from the commission? Mr. City Engineer.
So the question was, what exactly is the history? Why was it split? Was it trying to do like a conservation easement for that outlot?
No, when it was originally platted, there was the possibility in previous city plans that there would be a road on the north end of the parcel, and so, but they don't have adequate street access, so it was designated as an outlot instead, so.
Okay.
Anyone else? Ms. X, you have a proposed motion?
A motion to recommend approval of a resolution conditionally approving a land combination for parcel 1, tax key number 88699 89-03 and Outlot 1 of Certified Survey Map 6022-8857 West St. Martin's Road.
There's such a motion. Commissioner Leone, Commissioner Haley. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. That'll go on the Common Council agenda in 2 weeks for final approval. Mr. Wenninger. Best for last. We move on to D, whatever it is. D1.
No, there's not a whole big long thing to read before we come up.
I can make something up.
For the record, this is the annual report from Payne and Dolan on activities at the quarry.
Yep, so per the PDDs, we have to come in every 2 years and just give you an update. Our update is pretty much very similar to what it was last time because we're still working in the same areas. We haven't really done anything different than we have the last few years. So a couple things that we are changing is actually we're starting field trips back up for groups. The last couple of years has been a little tough with that. I think we have a Cub Scout group from the local elementary school coming in August, I think, late August, September. So we're more active in that for a couple of years. We just, like everybody else, we just didn't do it right. So we still attend the quarry monitoring committee meetings. Those are held, they were every month, now it's once a quarter or whatever. And there's some new members there that we're trying to arrange getting quarry tours for them, people that aren't very familiar. So I would also extend that too, if there's anybody on the plan commission that ever wants to go. Best thing to do is just to give us a call and we can arrange it and give you the personal one-on-one, whatever you want to see. If you arrange it right, you can push the button on a blast too. We can make that happen if you're so interested. So, but yeah, other than that, it's pretty much business as usual. It's been
Better find something else to knock on.
well. This is
So the only thing that I have is I've been hearing complaints about blasts, and I fully recognize and acknowledge that they're not exceeding any of the limits that we put forward. It's just that you're blasting now closer to the properties rather than in some instances.
So to address that, it's interesting if you look at a lot of so as part of PDDs, we also are required to reimburse the city for up to, I think it's $50,000 plus or minus of monitoring costs. So Stantec is out there as the representative for the city and doing certain monitoring, and they provide reports. And if you look at one of their quarterly reports that they provide on the blasting, and they've started to include the complaints come from typically one area in particular, and that's to the south. And it's usually from the same handful of people, right? So at that point in time, there's not really much we can do. Now, the interesting thing is if you actually look at the readings and the data, now we do a lot of blasting up in the middle part of the quarry to the north, and there's subdivision over there. We almost regular, I don't know if we've had a complaint from that area. We get nothing from that area. And it's to the point where if we get away from that south end, I'll send you an email saying, hey, you might get a complaint or two because for whatever reason, we get some complaints. We've had some down there actually where the seismograph to the south didn't even register and people still complain. So, but we still try to take those into account. We're still, I mean, if you look at the levels, we're at really low levels down there. So.
Sure. Alderwoman.
So along those lines, I'm interested that you have set up that pre-blast notification system. I think that's great. And have you gotten a lot of positive feedback from that? Or are the people who are complaining registered for that notification? Would be the question.
I think some of them are and some of them aren't. I think overall that helps though, because if people know, then they're just more expecting a little bit.
No, I think that's a great addition.
Yep. So, and it's, I don't know how many people we have signed up for that. So,
And what it is the morning of the blast, they say, hey, they'll be blasting today at the Frank Quarry. And I think that does help. And we've instituted that actually like at our Racine Quarry because we had pretty good success here. So we did that down there as well. Let's do Leon and then the city engineer. I'm waiting for you, waiting. There you go.
I'd like to take you up on that offer to get it to her. I don't know if you have a card or someone so I can get contact info to schedule something.
Yep, you can just, he'll forward you my cell phone number.
Perfect, thank you.
And we can do that during the day.
Yeah,
No.
preferably on a blast day. I want to do the Wile E. Coyote plunger.
Then you will be severely disappointed because now it's all computerized, so it's just hit two buttons
You
simultaneously.
can rig something up.
But I always still, if I get the opportunity, I still do it.
Do I stand on the ledge that I'm doing it on if I'm doing that?
As long as you're a safe distance away, no, usually you're quite a ways away from where we're blasting, so. Wasn't the question I was expecting, Mayor,
Mr.
but-
Morrow. I want to say, it's been a couple months ago, I saw, not that I go to Facebook for my news, but someone was saying, there was a big boom today, was at the quarry. Is there a system where, so you get the pre-blast notification, but is there a way to, some sort of website where somebody can look up and say, yeah, there was a blast this morning? Because it was like on a Sunday, and you guys don't blast on Sundays, do you?
No.
So, I mean, it's obvious it wasn't you, but in most of the snarky comments, it's pretty obvious. But it would have been nice to say, go look at their whatever website, and it tells when you did the blast. But do you publish those?
No, we don't publish them in real time, but as part of the PDD, we provide a monthly summary to.
Yeah, so Clean provide the monthly report to City Development Department, and when we have the quarry meeting, we include that in the packet that is uploaded to the website.
I
So
was just
it
thinking
is
if you're doing
available
the
to the public.
pre-blast, there might be a way, as you send that out, put that on a website too, saying, this afternoon at 3:00 or something. I don't know if that might cause more problems, but I just thought that when I saw it would have helped that issue.
Yeah, but for one,
Okay,
I don't think it's worth it.
never mind.
I've seen those posts.
Yeah.
And typically, the quarry operators get defended rather quickly by people who know they don't work on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah. Okay.
Or they don't blast.
I
on
didn't think so,
Saturdays.
but
Somebody had their hand up. Is that it? Is there a motion to receive and place on file? Hogan and Haley, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Mayor. Since the city attorney's not here, I'd like to take advantage of saying something that's not on the agenda that's worthwhile. Miss Marion X is no longer Miss Marion X. She's now Miss Marion X AICP. I don't know if you knew that, so.
And Marion, I sincerely apologize. That should have been me. Sorry, with everything going on, I totally forgot. Congratulations in public. That is wonderful. Commissioner Leon. Wait.
Mr. City Engineer, since we're doing this for the record, and for those of us who are laymen, if you could explain what the AICP entails and why it's noteworthy.
American Institute of Certified Planners, is that correct? So it's basically the equivalent, so I have a PE, it's basically a professional certification. Obviously, it took schooling, it took a test she had to pass, and I think she just received her notice today that she passed her test. So she'll start, she can now get new business cards with her little initials after it. So.
Congratulations.
And Regulo has that also, I believe.
Yes.
Great. Hogan and Hanneman, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned.
Thank you, Clean.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.